Good morning. Today's video is called Questions for God. My first question to God would be, God, are you real? I assume his answer would be yes. My second question to God would be, where are you? I assume his answer would be everywhere. My third answer to God would be, do you know everything? I assume his answer would be yes. Then I would ask God, if you knew everything, did you not know that Adam and Eve would eat the apple when you told them not to? Why do we have to suffer for what they all did? Would everybody you have created done the same thing if you told them not to eat the apple? Just because Adam and Eve did doesn't mean somebody else would have. Why would you be so angry, the creator of all, when you could have just created more apples or forgiven Adam and Eve for eating the apple? Because after all, you're supposed to be all loving and forgiving. I have forgiven people for a lot worse in my life, and I'm not God. If you know all and see all and you create all, then you know all about me before I was born, and you know when I will die. That sounds logical to me. You know who will believe in you and who will not. Is this not correct? My next question is really about, do we really have freedom in this life? They say that you gave us free will, but if you know all, do we really have free will? Why are we here to suffer and worship you and then to be forgiven? One could ask, did I really have a choice in being born if you are the creator of all? Another question, if you created all, did you also create the devil? You know the whole conflict thing between good and evil. If you're connected to everything, is evil within you? Another thought I had is, do rich and poor people look at you in the same way? I think many poor people would look at you more for hope and survival, something many rich people do not have to do. They don't have to worry about food, shelter, or clothing. Or if they're disabled, they don't have to say, well, I may not be equal in the eyes of other people, but in the eyes of God, I would be equal. I have thought about you my whole life, having my cerebral palsy, and I was not supposed to walk or talk. My mother traveled clear around the world with bone cancer to pray for me, and then she came back and died shortly after, a few days later, 62 years ago, when I was 2 years old. My next question is, why do people with such faith and love have to die so young at age 36 years old? Not many people would have done this like she did in 1956, and one would have to assume that her faith was quite strong in order to do this. If God does not exist, then the atheists were right. I was screwed by nature, and so were other disabled people. My mom, who knew my mother when I died, she also died when I was 28 of cancer too. And my dad of colon cancer when I was 42, and my brother Mark died when I was 60. If God does not exist, then the atheist would be right. Just like I said, I'm a freak of nature. If God does not exist, all my pain and suffering is in this life with my disability was for nothing. If I just die and there's nothing greater than I, then did my parents, brother, and family matter at all? Did they really exist? They all fought to the end, and they did not quit. In 2017, our president spreads darkness daily by tweets, and our news is full of heartache and pain. Where are you, God? You're supposed to be kind, caring, loving, and forgiving, a forgiving God. I really don't want quotes from the Bible. Many people use quotes from the Bible against gay people daily, or people who do not look at the world the same way they do, like a bully or a weapon. If God exists, then let God be God. But again, where are you, God?